This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Abstract. The world's industrial evolution of vehicles has seen an increase in the manufacture and supply of electric cars worldwide. The United Kingdom government aims to shift from the use of fossil fuels in the automotive industry to electric power. The demand and supply of electric cars have already been witnessed in the United Kingdom, UK, market. The market should maintain an equilibrium point to avoid shortages and surplus in both the quantity demanded and supplied. This resulted in the United Kingdom government cutting grants for buyers who demand electric cars. The ceiling price and price floors are essential for controlling the market price. The pricing of electric cars will determine if the United Kingdom market demand and supply curves will shift to either the right or the left. These shifts affect the equilibrium point of the United Kingdom market. Introduction. The evolution of vehicles worldwide has witnessed an increase in plans to supply manufactured electric cars. Emerging data reveals how Europe is at the forefront in the transition process of replacing fossil fuel locomotives with electric cars across the total market share. Electric car consumption in Europe stands at 12% of the passenger market share. The United Kingdom government is committed to shifting the consumption of electric-powered cars away from those using fossil fuel. This has led to the reduction of the subsidy cuts from £50,000 to about £35,000. Furthermore, the maximum value of a grant in the United Kingdom was lowered with an immediate effect from £3,000 to £2,500. The move was intended to aid the less privileged individuals in society to consume the new brand more. Discussion. The demand for electric vehicles in Europe is increasing on a daily basis. Data show the continent is leading with its market share standing at around 12% as compared to other regions such as China and North America, whose consumption levels are 6% and 2%, respectively. This increase in demand has led companies and governments to outline plans that will aim at boosting the production and supply of electric cars for consumption within the next 5-year period. For instance, Ford, an American car manufacturer, pledged to supply electric vehicles for passengers' consumption only by 2030 in Europe. This move will set a foundation for other traditional production car companies to follow suit globally. The supply of electric vehicles will be achieved from other manufacturing companies. These companies include Tesla, NIO, Toyota, and General Motors. The quantity demanded by the market share will be met by the supplies from these companies who ensure there exists no shortage in the market. 7. The United Kingdom government has cut grants and lowered the price caps to facilitate the quantity demanded among its citizens. This demand has resulted in an increase in the quantity supplied to the market for consumption. Cutting grants and lower caps by the United Kingdom government aimed at creating a means for the unfortunate to demand the product, electric cars. These moves are viewed as a measure that raises the prices of electric cars, limiting the demand among the less fortunate and, in the long run, affecting supply. This implies the United Kingdom government fails to offer support for electric cars' demand among the people and supply in the long run. Therefore, cutting grants will force the sellers to increase prices, a move likely to reduce demand among the consumers of electric cars. The high quantity demanded across Europe has seen major investment in the vehicle industry to meet the supply expectations of consumers. It is approximated that in 2020, $139 billion was invested in the electric transportation sector, while $357 billion is predicted to be spent by 2025. This investment in electric car production anticipates the supply of the right quantity of products to meet the demand. This increase is attributed to the rise in electric transport consumption among the tastes and preferences of consumers worldwide. Despite the increase in both the quantity demanded and supplied, care should be taken to avoid unhealthy steps that will result in loss-making by the production companies. The quantity supplied should be enough to meet the quantity. Conclusion. In conclusion, the demand and supply for electric cars are increasing worldwide. Companies have decided to maintain a steady supply to ensure the quantity supplied meets the consumption level. Furthermore, the United Kingdom government's move to cut grants is a move that will affect the demand and impact the supply of electric cars in the long run. Cutting grants increases electric cars' prices, making them demand for consumption by the rich. Maintaining the equilibrium point is essential in assisting the companies to supply a quantity that will neither create a surplus nor a shortage. Furthermore, the equilibrium point will aid in determining the ceiling price and price floors, which prevents customer exploitation. This research paper on electric cars, demand, supply, and equilibrium price was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for, free of charge.